Hello everyone. In this video, I will discuss a fascinating observation I made in my personal environmental and how it relates to the fundamental concept of microeconomics. I wish to shine light on how economy principles are applied in everyday life. In economics, there are one of more of basic principle of microeconomics. In this video assignment, I will talk about the three main principles of microeconomics, and I will use examples to better illustrate scarcity, opportunity cost, and thinking at the margin. I want to briefly explain these three terms. Scarcity is a situation in which people's resources are insufficient to satisfy their wants and needs. Opportunity cost is every time we do something, we give up the next best alternative. And thinking at the margin are the cost and the benefits of doing something a little more or a little less. There are plenty of examples of how scarcity affects people's choice. And in this video, I will use some examples to illustrate how scarcity relates to opportunity cost, so I can better illustrate the relationship between the two and the concept of thinking at the margin. In order to solve economic problems, we must be able to identify how scarcity forces people to make choice. I want to put forward a simple scenario about scarcity. I want to do a part-time job on Monday. I either have to work as a waiter at the coffee shop, or I can work as an office man in the office. For example, suppose that if I were to take the coffee shop job, I would receive $25 per hour. And if I want to take the office man job, I would receive $40 per hour. These two jobs cannot happen simultaneously because they are two different jobs. There is no way I can work as a coffee shop waiter and office man at the same time. So I choose office worker. The opportunity cost of choosing to be an office worker instead of working at the coffee shop is $25 per hour. And I have to give up the same amount of time as a coffee waiter, which is where the scarcity of time and energy comes into play. To make a sensible choice, we need to compare the cost and the benefits of doing various activities. An effective way is to think about the cost and the benefit of doing something a little more or a little less. This is called cost-benefit analysis. Furthermore, we need to concern the marginal utility and the total utility. A good example of thinking at the margin is as I drink more coffee, the additional utility will decline. In the first diagram, we can see the marginal utility of first cup of coffee is 11. Then the marginal utility of second cup drops to 9, indicating diminishing marginal utility. This means additional satisfaction from additional cups decrease. But in the second diagram, notice the total utility increase as I drink more coffee, while the marginal utility decrease. Still, that the value I placed on each additional cup of coffee diminishes. Thank you for joining me on this journey through microeconomics in action. I hope this video has demonstrated the importance of economist idea in our daily lives and promote you to think about economy basic of your own experience. Remember that economics is all around us. influencing our decisions and interactions in ways we may not always recognize.